You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
And we are live here on the NBL Live pregame show. It doesn't get better than this. It's finally here, the Season 21 NBL Super Bowl. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on the NBL Network. We got a great show planned for you. I got a bevy of personalities here from the NBL Network to analyze this game. I got Project Fat, I got Sonny Weaver, and I got Brocco Beef. And we're going to have a interview with both of the coaches and the owners of the NBL Super Bowl participants coming up in just a second. But before we get there, let's just see how we got here from those championship games. That one of them you saw here on NBL Live. That was the AFC Championship between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. And boy, it was dominant. Sonny Weaver, we called that game together. The Steelers came out on top 28-13 behind Ben Roethlisberger. 4 touchdown passes, 1 interception. He got player of the game. You got to think the Steelers have a lot of confidence going into this Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was classic Ben Roethlisberger. We've heard some rumors that this may be Ben Roethlisberger's last game, and what a way it would be to go out. He had a phenomenal performance in the AFC Championship game, basically doing whatever he wanted to a pretty good Texans defense. I expect the same out of this Steelers offense. Antonio Brown, Martavius Bryant looking for big games tonight. And really the emergence of Le'Veon Bell was something to watch in that AFC Championship game, and that's something I'll watch again tonight.
No doubt, a great game yesterday. And on the other side in the NFC, the Detroit Lions finally got over those Dallas Cowboys 24-7 in dominant fashion. Brocco, the Lions had lost to these Cowboys the last 2 years. They didn't seem to be able to get over that hump, but this year they finally did it behind Matt Stafford. What does Matt Stafford have to do today that he did yesterday against the Cowboys to bring the Lions a championship?
Well, if he's playing like he's been playing this season, there's really not much he has to do. You know, he's the best passer in the NBL. He's just got to be flawless.
And we have with us live here on the NBL Live pregame show, we've got the owner of those Detroit Lions, the NFC champion. It is Bomber. Bomber, congratulations on your win yesterday. Before we get to today's game, let me ask you, how does it feel to get over that hump? You've lost to the Cowboys the last 2 years. They seem to have your number, but you did it in dominating fashion yesterday. How good did that win feel?
Well, first, happy to be here. Thanks for having me on the show. It felt good. The last 2 years it was a struggle, man. We have a winning history here in Detroit in the NBL, and going against a team like Dallas, that's really been tough against us because the matchups, man. They just match up so well with us. They're tough on the ground. We lost in overtime after a pick-6 interception by Stafford 2 years ago. We lost by 7 the year before that. So it just always seemed like it was one or two things that they just kept doing towards the end of the game that would prevent us from getting back to the Super Bowl. We're just happy to be here right now, though, and we're just enjoying every moment.
No doubt, it's got to feel great getting that win. And today you're going to be facing the 2-time NBL Super Bowl champion, those Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is a great team. I know that you know that, even though you're over in the NFC. You played them this year. The Steelers are led by Ben Roethlisberger, but let's talk about their defense. This is a defense that is young and athletic, and you've had some troubles stopping their defensive line from getting to your quarterback in the last couple of weeks. What sort of adjustments have you made going into the game to keep Matt Stafford on his feet and able to complete some of those great passes?
Well, first and foremost, Steelers are actually a 3-time NBL Super Bowl champion, so we respect the heck out of them. What we got to do to keep Stafford upright is really just just protect him and get the run game going. Protecting him in the pass game is one thing, but honestly, getting the run game established with Amir Abdullah is really what's going to be key for us today. Obviously we have Whistler Ridgeway out and Jeremy Hill's been out the whole year. And we flew them all down here, man. Jeremy had a great time. He was on crutches, man, but he was hitting, he was out there on the beaches, talking to the ladies. That's what he does. He's big Showtime, man, and we wish we could have him for this game.
No doubt. You're missing that guy, but you got a great team behind you. Final question from us here on the pregame show. What would it mean to the city of Detroit getting this championship today? We know that you're very passionate about your Lions, but what would it mean to the city as a whole getting a title?
Well, I mean, regardless of how it comes today, you know, we're gonna take every day as it comes, as we've been doing, and that's how we got here. We have a pedigree, 3 Super Bowl championships. This is our 7th Super Bowl that we've been to. So, you know, it's yeah, man. Detroit, we want this, man. We want as many as we can get, but we also understand that Pittsburgh's a tough team, and there's just certain things we have to do, and we're gonna have to be efficient, and we're gonna have to, just play at a very high level, especially as far as IQ wise with our team, and make the right plays at the right time, and just continue to establish our run game throughout the game. That's our most important part. And if we can do that, then we'll deal with winning later. But right now, we're just focused on that.
Well, Bomber, we certainly appreciate you coming here on the NBL Live pregame show before your big game today in the Season 21 Super Bowl. Good luck, and we wish you the best today, and go out there and have some fun.
All right, thanks for having me on.
And we go right from there to his opponent. It is the 3-time NBL Super Bowl champion. It is those Pittsburgh Steelers, and their owner is Lip. Lip, congratulations on your win yesterday. We talked to you on live about how tough that game was against the Houston Texans. What does it mean coming here to the Super Bowl yet again? Does any of the let's say, newness of the Super Bowl, does that wear off at all? Do you feel a little different coming in now that it's your 4th time?
I think that each time is different because you have different players, you have different experiences coming up to the Super Bowl, you have different opponents, and it's a different experience each time. It's a special experience, but I think that the anxiety and the things that you think about around the game are still always there. You get a little better at managing them once you get through it the first time, but from here on out, it's just the guys playing the way that we planned, and hopefully we can put it together.
Absolutely. Hoping for a win today here in the NBL Season 21 Super Bowl. Now, of course, the big story today, it is Ben Roethlisberger. He's been your leader for so long, and there's been rumors that maybe this is his last season in Pittsburgh. If that is, what does it mean? You've known him for so long. What does it mean for Ben to get that title?
Well, the guy has done more than enough for Pittsburgh and the Steelers. He's done so much outside of the locker room. He's done so much for our guys. If he goes out on top, that is the most perfect storybook ending that we could have. But the success that Ben Roethlisberger has had here and that guys around him have had in his time is just something that you can't really replace. And, hopefully the things that he has done, the leadership he has brought will stick with our young guys moving forward. We have a lot of young guys on our team. We have some guys moving out, some guys that are they're being developed right now. And hopefully they just remember how good of a leader Ben Roethlisberger was in his time. And that kind of carries on into the future.
Ben Roethlisberger will go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NBL, but let's talk about a guy on the other side of the ball that you'll be facing, and you'll have to find a way to slow down Matthew Stafford, first in the league in TD to interception ratio at a crazy 3.67. He goes 41 attempts on average without throwing an interception. How do you plan to try to slow down what has just been a dynamic passing attack this season?
Well, we got a lot of guys on our defense that have played good defense for a long time. These guys have been here. This is basically the defense that we've had since day one. Maybe a couple guys have come and gone. Some guys have just gotten better. So we're hoping that their experiences over the last 3 years can help them deal with such an overwhelming passing attack tonight. I think that we believe in our defense the way that we've played all year. Like I said last night, we've really bend, but don't break. We try to keep teams out of the end zone as best we can. But, it's going to be overwhelming, and we're just going to have to try to manage it as best we can because it is I would say it is the best passing attack in NBL.
Well, Lip, congratulations on getting this far. We wish you the best of luck today in the NBL Season 21 Super Bowl for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Go out there and have some fun.
All right, thank you, guys. Good luck with the show.
Thank you so much. And that was Lip, the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who will be participating today in the Season 21 NBL Super Bowl. Be sure to keep interacting with us in the chat as we continue here on the NBL Live pregame show. Kickoff is now about 10 minutes away. Let's throw it over to Project Fat. Haven't heard from him yet. Fat, you heard Sonny ask Lip about stopping that dynamic Detroit Lions passing offense. We know about Matt Stafford. We know about the talent they have on the outside in their wide receiving core. But let's talk about somebody who maybe gets overshadowed a little bit, and that's Eric Ebron. He was so big in so many games this year. How does Matt Stafford use Eric Ebron effectively in the passing game, and are we going to see Eric Ebron be used a lot today?
I definitely do believe so, and I think that's going to be a big difference in this game. And I know obviously he's not the necessarily the number one target, but he's definitely a difference maker, especially down in the red zone where Detroit's had a ton of success. And I think he's going to have a huge game this game. I could foresee him having 2 touchdown catches today, and I think that just the difference that he can make not only in the passing game, but he could potentially be a big difference maker in the running game as well. But Eric Ebron, big target, big time difference maker there on the offensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. And Sonny, you play the Pittsburgh Steelers twice a year. You're in their division as the owner of the Bengals. And we know about Ben Roethlisberger. We've talked to death about Ben Roethlisberger. But let's look at Le'Veon Bell for a second and that offensive line giving him holes. How good is Le'Veon Bell at finding those holes? And what are the Lions linebackers and defensive line going to have to do to stop Le'Veon Bell today?
They have to be gap sound. Le'Veon Bell, one of the best things he does is he sits in the hole, waits for it to develop, and then pushes through it. Now, one thing looking at this, I think the Lions are really going to have to protect kind of their linebacking core with that front line of defense. Their linebackers are very good in coverage and in run coverage, but I think they're going to have their hands full on the back and trying to defend the pass. So they're going to have to get a lot out of their front four, really doing their job, stopping Le'Veon Bell. I think Bell has a big game today, and that's going to be key to a Steelers victory.
Absolutely. We're getting closer and closer to game time. We'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us here on the MBL Live pregame show. I'm here with a bevy of personalities. I got Project Fat, Sonny Weaver, and Brocco Beef. Brocco, let me ask you a question. Homer Hankey put out his Super Bowl prop bets today, and if you're around, you should definitely take a look at those. One of his big ones was how many touchdowns will be scored in this game. It was an over-under set at 52.5. We know these two offenses are very good. The defenses might be overlooked a little bit. Is there a chance that this game goes over that 52.5 score number, or is this going to be a low-scoring game sort of fought in the trenches?
Well, based on the two passing attacks, my personal opinion is I see this game getting a little out of hand, maybe 35 points on each side, and maybe coming down to a deciding field goal. So I could definitely see it going over that 50 points. I see at least maybe 7 or 8 passing touchdowns. It's going to be a barn burner out there.
Wow, no doubt it's going to be an exciting game here on MBL Live, and we hope you will stick with us. It is the Season 21 Super Bowl, and it's going to be coming up in just a little bit. Right after we get a couple predictions going, we're going to send it out for the Super Bowl. And let me throw it first to my co-host for tonight, Sonny Weaver. We're going to be calling this game. We've heard, looking in the chat, we got a couple predictions here. Bo Brendan saying 31-27 Lions. Porter saying 35-24 Lions. A lot of Lions in the chat right now. So what do you think? Do you think the Lions can win this Super Bowl? They have fought through the NFC Championship, unable to get over that hump. Do you think they beat the 3-time defending Super Bowl champion, the Pittsburgh Steelers, or do the Steelers just get another one for Ben Roethlisberger?
Well, I like my Sunnylytics, as people like to refer to them as. And so when I look at those Sunnylytics, one thing I got to look at right now is these two are two of the best teams in the two major analytics. I look at TD to interception ratio along with splash plays. The edge does kind of go towards the Lions. The Lions at 45% of their defensive snaps are splash plays versus the Steelers 44%. Pretty much too close to the call, but the big difference is going to come down to TD to interception ratio. I've got the Lions at 3.67. I've got the Steelers to 2.16. I think it's going to come down to that interception ratio. I think the Steelers give up one too many interceptions. Lions pull it out. I'm going to go ahead and go 28-21. Lions get the win.
28-21, your prediction from Sonny Weaver. Let's throw it over to Fat. Fat, you played the Steelers in Week 1. They put a little pounding on the Raiders, 40-19, showing how good they can be. You've seen them up close. Do the Steelers have what it takes? Are they going to win a Super Bowl once again, or are the Lions going to upset those Pittsburgh Steelers that are building this little dynasty right now?
Well, personally, I think obviously the Steelers are a great team, and I don't want to take anything away from that. But this Lions team just seems completely different than the last couple of seasons. And I think, like Sonny just kind of touched on a little bit, it's definitely going to come down to the turnover differential. And I think the Steelers as well are going to turn the ball over one too many times. The Lions are just really ball hawking type defense. They get to the ball, turn it over. And I think the Lions, it's going to be a close game for sure, but I think the Lions are going to come out on top 27-24 ultimately.
Oh, man, and another pick for the Lions. Let's lastly go over to Brocco. Brocco, are you sticking with the trend? Are you picking the Lions as well? Or are you going to say the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to get that another ring for Ben Roethlisberger?
Well, you know I'm a fan of QBs, and I'm just enjoying this passing attack Matt Stafford has put together these last few years. I'm going to stick with my prediction. I'm going to go 38-35 Lions, high-scoring game.
38-35 Lions, a high-scoring game. As you said, it's going to be a barn burner, and we shall see here on NBL Live. We are getting ready to send it out to Super Bowl here in Season 21 of NBL. We want to remind everyone to be sure to give us a subscribe down below and follow us on Twitter at Bomber League as we're getting ready to go into Season 22. Fat, Brocco, Sonny, thank you so much for joining me here on the NBL Live pregame show. We certainly appreciate it, and you're going to want to stick around because we have, for the first time, we're going to have a nice halftime show in the middle of this game, and you're not going to want to miss it. We'll have some analysis and a look ahead to the draft, but for now, let's send it out. It's Super Bowl in Season 21 of the NBL. It's Lions, it's Steelers. It's up next here on NBL Live.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
And it is here. It is finally time for that NBL Super Bowl here in Season 21. And we got it here live for you on NBL Live. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out here with Sonny. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. I can finally say it, Sonny. It doesn't get bigger than this. What are these two teams fighting for here in the NBL? Is this the biggest thing that anybody can come to here in the NBL?
Oh, this is for all the marbles, and it's two great teams with two dynamic offenses. I think if there's one thing you can count on coming out of this game, it's going to be a game of offense, something that we can all appreciate, and it's going to be fun to watch. I think as far as, where this stands legacy-wise, these are two teams that have a history of winning titles, and this will be another trophy in the case for someone tonight and probably bragging rights for the next year.
No doubt, as we are getting ready for kickoff here on NBL Live, it is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to get the ball first, and the return comes out to the 26-yard line. That's going to be our first opportunity to Ben Roethlisberger. Let me ask you, Sonny, for Ben himself, as a guy who's heard all this talk about retirement and possibly this being his last time, does that weigh on him at all, or is he just focused on the Super Bowl today?
It may be in the back of his mind, but I think he's locked in. It didn't seem to bother him in the AFC Championship game where he looked vintage Ben to me.
First and 10 for the Steelers. It's going to be Ben Roethlisberger under center. He's going to hand it to Le'Veon Bell, who hits a big hole, but that closes up quickly. This Lions defense is athletic. A 2-yard gain on first down, bringing up a 2nd and 8.
Talking about it before the game, we said Le'Veon Bell is going to be a key to this game. Obviously, first down, 2-yard carry. This is a good Detroit Lions defense at stopping the rush, but they need to keep hammering away.
2nd and 8. Roethlisberger under center with 2 wide receivers and Le'Veon Bell in the backfield, bringing one of them in motion over. Looking underneath, and he's going to hit his man underneath and gets up near the sticks. And we're going to call it just short, 3rd and inches. Martavis Bryant with the catch, but looked like he had an opportunity to get the first down. Instead, tried to make a move and ends up forcing a 3rd down.
I would have liked to see Bryant square, shoulders up, push up field, get the first down. Now we're setting up a 3rd and inches, and this could be a big stop early in this game for Detroit.
3rd and inches for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Getting the ball first here on the NBL Season 21 Super Bowl. He's going to come out, big formation, 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side, and Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. Detroit Lions hoping for a big stop here as Roethlisberger changes up the play at the line. He's going to hand it to Bell. He's got a big hole up the middle. It's going to be a first down, 5 yards on 3rd and inches. That offensive line sure created a huge hole for Le'Veon Bell to get through.
Yeah, we see there a 3-man front. Kind of interesting there on 3rd and inches that we didn't get more of a stacked box, but Bell gets the hole he needs and gets upfield. And pretty good blocking job there by the offensive line of Pittsburgh.
This Pittsburgh offensive line created lots of holes for Le'Veon Bell yesterday. 11 carries for 88 yards against the Houston Texans. It's going to be a shotgun formation for Roethlisberger. He's got 3 wide to the right, and Antonio Brown split up alone to the left with Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. He's going to pass it over to Antonio Brown, and it is caught on the left side. A little C route over there, had a man draped all over him, but Antonio Brown shows why he's one of the best in the game, coming up with the catch and getting a first down.
Yeah, great route running and actually good defensive position by the cornerback there, but that was just a great play by Antonio Brown to come down with the ball.
Turns out Antonio Brown's still just one of the best in the game. Sometimes he's just better than everyone else. It is going to be 1st and 10 for the Steelers as they reach the opponent's territory on the 45-yard line. It's going to be Roethlisberger under center. He's going to hand it off to Le'Veon Bell, but that play is immediately snuffed out. 4 blue jerseys over there stopping Bell on 1st down. We'll give him a 1-yard gain, and once again, it was Greg Hardy who's having a great season so far for these Lions.
Greg Hardy had a great stop in the NFC Championship game. We were talking about how he's really helped solidify that defensive line. And like I mentioned earlier, this is the number 2 overall ranked rushing defense here in Detroit. So they're a big part of this game plan, trying to stop Le'Veon Bell.
2nd and 9 for the Steelers. It's going to be Roethlisberger under center, 2 wide to each side, and Bell in the backfield, dropping back. So play action with the pressure, gets there in the first sack of the game. It is Mitchell who came open over on the right side. Play action pass bites him. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 19, but a huge play for this Detroit Lions defense.
And you people know what I'm going to say. There's the first splash play of this
Sonny
game. I love the splash plays. That's the first one, sent them back in 3rd and 19. A huge defensive play there by the Detroit Lions.
Empty backfield with Roethlisberger facing a 3rd and 19 on his own 45-yard line. Dropping back to pass once again, and it is intercepted. It's Killebrew with the interception, and he's got a lot of room on that left side down to the 30, the 20, the 10, and it's a touchdown for the Detroit Lions. A pick 6 on 3rd and 19. And Sonny, I think if I'm not mistaken, that's one of those splash plays you talk about.
That's another splash play, and coming into the pregame, we talked about the amount of splash plays the Detroit Lions can generate. You get the sack on 2nd down, interception on 3rd down. That's what this Detroit Lions defense does. They get 45% of their defensive snaps or some sort of splash play, and there we go, 2 on that series. And that could be one of the things we have to watch this game as a huge factor on what this Pittsburgh Steelers offense can do.
7-0 Detroit, the huge play on the first drive of the game, intercepting Ben Roethlisberger and taking it to the house. It's a 7-0 lead for Detroit. We'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us on the NBL Live. It's Super Bowl for Season 21 here in the NBL. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out here with Sonny. Sonny, it's our first opportunity to see this Lions defense come out and respond after getting an interception. These Lions are looking for just more points, and keeping Matt Stafford on the bench has got to be a goal for them as Roethlisberger's coming out in I formation. He's got Brown to his left and Bryant split out to the right. It's going to be a play-action pass once again, and he's got a man wide open right at the sticks. It's going to be a 1st down. A nice play there. They're not afraid to throw this ball. Roethlisberger not shaken at all by that interception.
Yeah, that play-action slide play, you'll see that from a couple different formations, different variations, but that's one of the staples of this offense. They get you going one way, throw it back the other. Good play there by Ben Roethlisberger.
1st and 10 for Roethlisberger under center once again with Le'Veon Bell alone in the backfield. He's been dropping back to pass here on 1st down. He throws it. It's a deep shot down the right side, unable to come up with it. Looked like that was Martavis Bryant trying to go up there. Man coverage on the outside, but a nice play there. It's Darius Slay on the outside. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the league.
As they say, Slay Day, they trying to challenge him earlier in this game and just not having good defensive play there by Darius Slay.
2 wide to the left and 1 to the right for Roethlisberger on 2nd and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Bell right up the middle. Big hole, little spin move there. He's hit right at the sticks. We'll call it a 9-yard gain, 3rd and 1, but that's the first big hole we've seen for Le'Veon Bell in this game.
Yeah, and that's what they need to keep doing. Don't abandon the run. Obviously, it's disheartening to throw that pick 6 early in this game, but you got to stick with the running game. That's going to set up your passing later on.
Le'Veon Bell coming back from injury late in the season, in the postseason, had a big AFC Championship game, looking to have yet another one. As on 3rd and 1, they're going to hand it to the big dog. It's Bell with another hole right up the middle. He's going to get 11 yards on that one. A huge play for the Pittsburgh Steelers getting that 1st down, and the Lions unable to come up with a stop on 3rd and 1.
Here Whitehead overruns that play, and he's had a couple of those so far early in this game. If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to keep working between the tackles, right between the 2 guards in the center, because it appears that's the weak spot of this rushing defense.
Big play, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Steelers in shotgun formation. 4 wide receivers for Roethlisberger, dropping back to pass once again, and coming across the middle. It's going to be complete, and it is we'll call it about a 4-yard gain. It's called a long 3, 2nd and 7, a little underneath route there, but a safe completion to Wheaton, and it's going to be 2nd and 7.
And Wheaton got all the way from the far left all the way out to the right side. Ben Roethlisberger, no pressure there, and that's what Ben needs to do. Sit in the pocket, find the open guy.
2nd and 7 for the Steelers offense. Once again in the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff to Le'Veon Bell, and this Lions defense was ready for that one. Bell, 27 yards already on the day on 6 carries, but on that one, he loses a yard, and this Lions defensive line showing that they have the ability to stop such a great running back.
And the strength there is on the outside, the ends. Like I said earlier, I want to work between those tackles. I really want to punch it between there. Not so much from the shotgun, more in an eye or single back set.
3rd and 8 for the Steelers. Big moment once again. It's a 3rd and slightly long, looking not to turn the ball over. It's going to be 5 wide receivers for Roethlisberger. Empty backfield. He's looking to pass once again. He throws it, and it is up, and it is down. It looked like he was going to come down with that ball over there on the right side. It was Wheaton once again, but unable to come up with it. And it's going to be a 4th down. It's going to be a long field goal attempt here for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, very long field goal attempt. We'll see if he gets this one up there.
59 yards, the official length. The kick is up. Does it have the leg? It does. It is good. And points on the board for the Steelers. They got to be happy. I know they're looking for touchdowns, especially against such a potent offense they're kicking the ball to, but they got stopped there on 3rd down and were able to convert the long field goal to make it a 7-3 game.
Yeah, and it was important to come away with points there. That was a long field goal attempt, but to at least put points up there, it keeps them in this race. And like we talked about, it's going to be a little bit of a track meet. You got to keep up. It was important to come away with something, and that they did. So now it's up to Matthew Stafford to come back and retaliate.
Matt Stafford, our first opportunity to see this potent offense of the Detroit Lions. They're going to get the ball on the 25-yard line. Under center is Stafford, 2 wide receivers, and Abdullah in the backfield. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on 1st down. Throws it over the middle. Ooh, not quite on target. First throw of the game. Maybe a little jitters for Matt Stafford here in the season 21 Super Bowl. Well underthrown, but it falls harmless to the ground. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, not sure if there was some trash around Stafford's feet there or what happened and he couldn't step up, but that was short-armed and just skipped across there. Not a good first throw for Matthew Stafford.
Hey, if they want to pay me $80 million to underthrow people, I can do that all day long. 2nd and 10 for the Lions. They're going to throw it out. It's another interception, this time by the Pittsburgh Steelers, coming up with a big turnover. He looked for his out route there on the left side, unable to come up with it, in a huge Sonny Liddick splash play for this Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Let's talk about those splash plays. Pittsburgh Steelers 3rd in splash plays at 44%. We talked about before the game. Both guys have a chance to keep the turnovers going. It's just a matter of who's going to come away with them.
1st down, and a nice throw there by Ben Roethlisberger right over the middle. It looked like a little seam route there in between 2 defenders, and that's not an easy throw to make even here in the NBL, but Roethlisberger just rifles it in there. 1st and goal for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Tight man coverage there. Good defensive play by Detroit. Just couldn't quite get to the ball. Perfect ball placement by Ben Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger showing why he is one of the best. 1st and goal for the Steelers. It's going to be a handoff to Le'Veon Bell right up the middle. He dives into the end zone for a touchdown. The first touchdown of the day for this Pittsburgh Steelers team. And pending the extra point, which they are attempting now, it is down. The kick is up, and it is good. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, after disaster on their first drive, a pick 6, reclaim the lead. It is 10-7 Steelers right now. What a nice little opening there for Le'Veon Bell to get through.
Yeah, and the game so far has been dictated by the ability to create splash plays. I'm telling you guys, splash plays is the key to winning an NBL, and right now the Pittsburgh Steelers just evened it up there with the interceptions. Detroit has 1 more sack than Pittsburgh, but watch here for Detroit. They need to shake off that last interception. They got to put points here. We talk about it. It's a track meet. They got to keep pace right here on this drive.
Sonny about to get splash plays tattooed right across his forehead. You're going to be hearing that all game, and it's coming up big so far. It's on 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff. Little stretch play to Abdullah. Makes a man miss, but a nice open field tackle on the right side. It's going to be 7 yards for Abdullah. Abdullah has taken a lot of flack, especially from his owner, Bomber, about his inability to hold on the ball and get a rushing game going, but a nice run there. Both set up by that offensive line stealing the edge.
Yeah, the Lions are the worst team in the NBL as far as fumbling the ball, and also one of the worst in yards per carry, if not the worst. I believe they're the worst at 32 in the league, 2.5 yards a carry. So the rushing attack by Detroit has not been good, but it's going to be a key part of this game because they can't let Pittsburgh tee off them in the passing game.
Couple of comments from the chat. We'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us. Uber YouTuber saying lots of fire in this game. We got Spencer Murray saying shaky Stafford. We got Jiggy J-Rod, the #1 prospect in the grid, saying a momentum change quick. And that's how it happens here. It's a season 21 Super Bowl, and this is as big as it gets. 2nd and 3 for the Lions in the shotgun. And Stafford throws it underneath to Ebron, unable to come up with a pass. Stafford has yet to complete a pass. Well, he has completed one, and that's the other team, and that's not quite what they're looking for from their star quarterback.
No, and that read was made before the ball was ever snapped. You could see it was single coverage, but the second linebacker was there waiting, as there was only 4 guys out in the route. So pre-read there wasn't a good idea, and Stafford not looking good early in this game.
Shadow Rose saying, going to be an interesting game for sure. Spencer Murray saying, taking tips from the Texans, not quite what you want. 3rd and 3 for the Lions. Pistol formation with 2 wide to left. It's going to be Stafford throwing here on 3rd down, and he waits patiently for Catula to come right across the middle and completes it. His first completion of the day. Nice patience there by Matt Stafford, going through his reads and waiting for his receiver to come open.
Yeah, and they're going to need the rookie wide receivers to step up. Whistler Ridgeway goes down there late in the season, so they got some rookies on the outside along with Kendall Wright there down the slot on this play.
1st and 10 for the Lions. They're going to come out in the pistol formation, right, and Catula to his right as he's going to be looking to pass once again. Throws it over the middle. It is Catula once again with the nice hands in the completion. It's going to be a 16-yard gain there on 1st down. Stafford may be getting into a little rhythm here, beating the man coverage.
Yeah, and if I'm Pittsburgh right now, I'm not giving them the easy man coverage read. Stafford needs those kind of reads right now to get in the groove, and right now I'm not trying to give them to him.
1st and 10, play action. He's going to be looking, and he's got Ebron wide open on the left side. Looked like the defense was sucked in by that play action. Another big pass play. Stafford, after not completing a pass in his first 3 attempts, completes his next 3. They are driving right now on the 27-yard line. It's got to be a big confidence boost for Stafford in this offense.
It is, and much like Pittsburgh, they like those slide concepts to get the quarterback rolling outside, easy throws.
McDonald in motion on 1st down. It's going to be a handoff to Abdullah. Big hole on the right side. He's going to get right up past the 1st down. An 11-yard gain. His 2nd rush of the afternoon. And a great job by the offensive line sealing the edge and creating a big hole for Abdullah to get through.
Abdullah having a big game so far. I think I'm going to ride that a little bit because it looks like he's got the groove going right now in this game.
1st and 10 for these Detroit Lions. It's going to be a handoff to Abdullah once again. He is met immediately. We'll give him a 1-yard gain on that one. Bringing up a 2nd and 9. No room to go there.
No, and he kind of veered off what was the intended hole, cut back, and there was nothing there. He needs to stick with the hole, stretch it out, put his foot in the ground, drive upfield, quit trying to dance back across the grain.
10-7, Steelers on top of the Lions right now, but the Lions driving. They're in the red zone on the 15-yard line with 4:22 to go here in the first half. Be sure to stick with us. We've got the NBL Live Super Bowl halftime show coming up. We'll have analysis and a preview of the draft coming up with the NBL Blitz podcast owner, that is Brocco. We'll be talking to him coming up. 2nd and 9, Abdullah coming in motion, and it looks like they're setting up the screen on the right side. They do hit Abdullah. He's got a big hole, and he's going to walk his way into the end zone for a Lions touchdown. Lots of great blocking there on the outside to spring Abdullah on the delayed little screen as we wait the pending extra point. The snap is away, the ball is down, the kick is up and is good, and the Lions go right back on top, 14-10 with 4:04 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
And we saw the Lions run that same play in the NFC Championship game. It didn't work in that game as they waited a little too long. Their wide receivers got the block shed, and their running back got tackled in the backfield. They get rid of the ball a little bit quicker that time. Great blocking downfield and a touchdown.
The kick is away deep into the end zone. Surely they're going to be taking it out 8 yards deep. Not a lot of room there on the right side. Those are the plays that don't come up in the stat sheet, but only getting out to the 18-yard line, losing 7 yards on what could have been a touchback. That could be a big mistake coming up. Field position is important here in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and those are the kind of things that we question with the Texans. There were a lot of coaching errors in that game. We'll have to watch this game and see if it becomes a trend here or if it was just a lapse of judgment there by the returner.
14-10, Lions on top. Disaster on their first drive. If you missed it, they threw a pick 6 on the first drive, but came back. They're up 14-10 now. Roethlisberger coming out. He's got 3 wide to left, 1 to the right, as Roethlisberger is going to be looking to pass here on 1st down. He throws it over the middle, and boy, it looked like that one's going to be interception. Great job adjusting his route there. That was a great play over the middle. It's going to be 2nd and inches. Martavis Bryant showing his quick hands and quick feet to get to that ball.
Roethlisberger waited a little too long there. I thought he had him open. Then he let him drift through that opening, and he almost got picked off by somebody else, not the man in coverage on that play. A little too late there on the coverage.
Pistol formation for Roethlisberger. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on 2nd and inches. Just throws it underneath to the tight end, and it's going to be complete. A nice 8-yard gain there. Nice and simple coming across the middle and getting that conversion, bringing up 1st down.
And we're getting a little pass happy here, and if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm thinking I got to get the run going again. Don't abandon Le'Veon Bell. I know it's going to be a shootout, but you got to keep him honest with the run.
First and 10 for the Steelers. Roethlisberger is going to come out in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers, and Le'Veon Bell in the backfield with them. They drop him back to pass. Blitz comes. He's able to get it off, and it is to his running back, Bell. Quick decision there by Roethlisberger, avoiding the rush. And Le'Veon Bell, it's going to be hard to stay with him if you're putting linebackers on him in the passing game.
And they use that short passing game as an extension of their running game. They get Bell out in space, and it was good play there by Pittsburgh to get it out there and beat the blitz.
First down for the Lions, or for the Steelers, excuse me. It's going to be a handoff to Le'Veon Bell over on the right side. No room over there, trying that stretch play once again for that Lions defense. This defensive line a little underrated. We always talk about Stafford, but this defensive line and linebacking core is very good for this Lions defense.
Yes, number 2 in rushing defense, very good. But like I said, you got to run to set up the pass, and I think that's what Pittsburgh's doing. They're going to stay with the run. Play action will be there later in this game.
Second 11 for Roethlisberger under center. He's got 2 widers left. It's going to be a toss play to Le'Veon Bell on the left side, and he's going to get maybe 2 yards on that one. Looked like he might have had a little room early, but the Lions defense closed down on him. 3rd and 9. It's going to be key, I think, for the Steelers offense to stay out of these 3rd and longs and get into 3rd and manageable.
Too much speed on the outside. I'd like to see the Steelers go back to running inside. That's where they found success earlier in this game.
Empty backfield, looking to pass here on 3rd and 9, and it is intercepted. A tough play, trying to fit it in, and Mitchell's got a lot of room on the right side. Nobody's going to be catching him. It's another pick 6. It's a touchdown for this Lions defense. He jumped that route perfectly, just zone coverage on the outside. Roethlisberger unable to identify it. The second interception thrown by Ben Roethlisberger. Boy, what a big momentum shift. 21-10 Lions now.
Ben's scoring more for the other team than he is right now.
That's not
3
good,
touchdowns.
Is it?
It's pretty insane right now. And what's been interesting to watch, not just on the interceptions, but on some of the other near interceptions, the Detroit Lions are jumping these routes, and you can see them coming. They're falling off their zones, jumping underneath it, and getting these picks. If you're Ben Roethlisberger, you got to start making your decisions before the guy makes his break, not after the break. He's waiting too long, and those routes are getting jumped.
21-10 Lions. Steelers going to get the ball back here after the second pick 6 thrown by Ben Roethlisberger. He's now throwing 2 touchdowns to the Detroit Lions defense. Only one to his own team. Probably not quite what Lip was hoping for from his star quarterback. 1st and 10. It's going to be Roethlisberger throwing it just right over the middle. A little drag route there. It is complete. It is a first down. Nice safe throw there to Brian, his 3rd catch of the day. A first down. This team looking to get some points on the board before the half.
Not really challenging deep yet. We keep seeing Bryant lined up to the right against Slay. I'd like to see him flip Bryant and Brown and get Bryant against the number 2 cornerback, see if we can't take a shot downfield.
Bryant in motion here on first down. He's going to throw it on a little out route. Once again, the ball is out. It looked like a hurdle was coming from Le'Veon Bell. A big hit there, and the ball comes out. Sometimes you just do a little too much, and then once again, a killer turnover. Sonny, these splash plays are coming up big for this Detroit Lions defense.
Yeah, and we talked about it before the game started. Those splash plays are big, and that is one thing the Detroit Lions do better than anybody else in the NBL.
1st and 10 Lions looking to put more points on the board here in Super Bowl of season 21 here in the NBL. It's going to be a handoff to Avila over the left side. We'll call it 3 yards on that one. Detroit Lions offense having an easy day. They've been on the bench most of the time. Defense doing all the scoring.
Well, and if you're Pittsburgh, you don't have to freak out right now. You do have an offense that when they're on, they can turn it on. So you just got to get a stop here. Don't freak out and get back into coverage here, and don't let them score any points here. You've got a minute left. 21-10, it's not the end of the world. You can come back from this, but don't freak out.
No need to panic here. Plenty of time left here in season 21 Super Bowl here in the NBL. We'd like to thank everybody who's hanging out with us, watching the Super Bowl with us here on the NBL Network. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out here with Sonny. 3rd and 7 for this Lions team after the incompletion on 2nd down. 21-10 there on top. Be looking to pass once again. Takes a hit. He does complete it over the middle. Let's see where they spot the ball. They're going to call it a first down. A huge completion for the first down from Matt Stafford and this Lions offense.
That looks like a favorable spot there. Stafford with pressure in his face gets it off and gets the first down.
Generous spot indeed, but they do get the call. As on first down, Stafford is going to be on the ground. A huge sack coming right up the middle of the defensive line, just getting their coverage sack there. But this Lions offensive line, much maligned. They've given up a couple sacks, especially late in the season. The first one today for this Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
And that's what Pittsburgh needs to do. They need to create splash plays of their own. The first thing to do that is getting the sacks. Good play there by Pittsburgh. Now they got a hold here. No points can be allowed before half.
Clock is running, 22 seconds to go, 2nd and 15. It's going to be Stafford throwing it over the middle to DeGear. It is complete, and they're going to get up to the 41-yard line. Clock running. We're down under 15 seconds, and the Lions are going to take a timeout, but 3rd and 4, they're getting into field goal range.
Yeah, a little surprise there. I wasn't sure what Caldwell was doing back there. I couldn't tell if he was going to take a timeout or not. They let a couple seconds burn off. They do get the timeout. Plenty of time here if Detroit's going to try to get at least 3 here, make it a 2-score game. 3rd and 4 here, I'd look for something underneath. Eric Ebron's one of his favorite targets in this situation.
3rd and 4 for the Lions. Stafford under center, flipping the play around DeGear. The only wide receiver out to the right side. It's going to be a handoff here to Abdullah, who hits the hole. And once again, it looks like they're going to get a first down. 10 seconds left. Do you take a shot to the end zone here, or do you just run the ball safely and take that field goal up 21-10?
You know, I think I take a shot here, put a dagger in the heart, make it a 3-score game. You've got time to still kick your field goal, so go ahead and take a shot.
21-10. It's going to be 1st and 10 for this Lions team. Stafford rolling out to his right. Clock is running, and nobody is open. He's running to the right side and smartly gets out of bounds. Gets 6 yards there. Looked like the Steelers defense was well prepared for that shot to the end zone. They're going to be just going for a field goal here as they line it up. 21-10 Lions looking to get another score before the half and before our NBL Live halftime show. Be sure to stick around for that one. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good, and the Lions are going to be up 24-10 as we hit halftime here in Super Bowl for season 21. Big moment there for the Detroit Lions as they were able to get those points before the half. But we are going to be going to halftime with a 24-10 lead. Lions, no doubt, happy to get those points before the half. Even if it was only a field goal, the Steelers have got to be happy they held them to that field goal.
Yeah, I think anytime you can hold them to a field goal over a touchdown, that's big, especially with this Detroit offense. Now, obviously, Detroit gets the ball after a half. Pittsburgh's got to figure out something, and the first thing they need to figure out is they can't keep turning the ball over. Detroit is already too good on the offensive side of the ball. They don't need any help from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, the offensive numbers haven't been big, but this has been a game of turnovers, and right now, Detroit is winning that battle.
All right, and we are here at the NBL Live halftime show. We're going to be having some interviews and analysis from our esteemed colleagues. But first, before we get there, we want to show you this promo just put together by one of our NBL participants, the owner of the Giants. It is Heartless, and we want to see what you can get if you come and join the ranks of the Madden Bomber League. And we are here on the NBL Live halftime show. It is our season 21 Super Bowl here in the NBL, and it is 24-10 Lions. Sonny, we've been calling this game. Any surprises here in the first half, or does this what you sort of expected going into the Super Bowl?
I thought it would be a game decided on splash plays. It's definitely been that. What I will say is, I'm surprised that the offensive scoring has not been more. But I think in the second half we will see that. I think Pittsburgh's still got plenty of time to come back in this game. Don't sleep on that offense. They can explode at any time.
And Fat, you've been watching this game, and so far the talk of this game has been that Lions defense able to get 2 pick sixes off of Ben Roethlisberger. What are you seeing from Ben Roethlisberger so far? Has he been making bad decisions, or is this Lions defense just playing out of its mind?
I think it's a little combination of both, but I think right now you got to put this more ultimately on Roethlisberger. He's definitely going to have to come out in the second half, play much better than he did there in the first half. But this offense definitely has the explosive potential. We just got to hope that their defense is going to be able to come up with some big-time stops on the other side of the ball as well. But I think Roethlisberger is going to rebound. He knows that this could be his last opportunity here at NBL Super Bowl, and he's going to come out and try and take this game over. But hopefully that defense can hold up as well.
24-10, the score right now here in the season 21 NBL Super Bowl. The Lions are on top of the three-time defending champion Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, before we get you back to the game, we want to talk with Brocco here. Brocco is the host of our NBL Blitz podcast. And Brocco, we've got the NBL draft coming up this Saturday. It is one of the biggest times of the year for all the owners, especially those who were unable to make the playoffs, a moment to sort of get the players that they need to get over that hump. What do you got planned for the NBL Blitz podcast this week, previewing the draft?
Well, with me and the Blitz, I always like to push draft content and draft coverage. So I've cooked up a nice show coming up with Gub and Doughboy. They're finalizing their mock drafts this week, and we're shooting for Thursday or Friday to have a show. They're going to debate their respective mocks, give their reasons why, in-depth analysis. So everybody might want to tune in. Maybe you'll see some players you didn't even know were there.
No doubt a big time here in the NBL. Fat Brocco, thank you so much for joining us here on the NBL halftime show. We got a great game coming up. Second half, we're going to be sending out to Pittsburgh, to the Super Bowl for Pittsburgh and Detroit momentarily, as the Steelers are looking for their fourth straight Super Bowl. The Lions are on top, though, 24-10. Sonny, what do we expect from the second half? Do you expect a charge from these Pittsburgh Steelers, or do you think the Lions are just coasting in this one?
One thing the Lions can't do, they can't coast. They've got to stay on the offensive side of it. Amir Abdullah has actually been way better than I would have expected. I would ride that a little bit more. Pittsburgh Steelers, they've got to start airing it out. I want to see them go to the left side of the field, get Martavius Bryant matched up on the left side against their number 2 cornerback, take some shots deep, and let Bryant try to get you back into this game.
A lot of things coming in from the chat, and we'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us throughout this Super Bowl. This is the biggest game of the year, and we're happy to have it here on NBL Live. We got tons of people hanging out with us. John Blevins, Eddie Mars, Ryan Cypress, all veterans of the NBL, and we are back 1st and 10 for the Detroit Lions, up 24-10. They're going to get the ball first. What do the Steelers have to do on this first drive? They got to stop them for no points, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That can't happen. So we can't let them score here, and the Pittsburgh Steelers could use another splash play.
24-10 as on first down. It is a handoff to Amir Abdullah over that left side. Unable to get anything going. 2nd and 10 for the Lions, looking to put more points on the board and maybe seal this game up.
Yeah, and things start getting a little scary here. If you're Pittsburgh, you got to find something. I expected to see a little more pressure from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Surprised we haven't gotten there yet.
2nd and 10 for this Lions team, as it's going to be a pistol formation from Matt Stafford. He's going to throw it out to the left side, and Kendall Wright is wide open over there. 21 yards on 2nd down. It looked like the defense just straight up lost right over there on the left side.
And that is the exact opposite of what you're expecting out of your defense if you're Pittsburgh. They've got to help you get back in the game. The offense really isn't doing much for you. And then plays like that happen, and now we're in trouble now.
Empty formations, 5 wide receivers for Stafford. He's going to throw it underneath to his tight end, Eric Ebron, for a nice little 4-yard gain. Looking in the chat now, Spencer Murray saying if you're taking drinks after every mention of splash play, you should be feeling good right now. Sonny, are you going to license the Sunnylytics drinking game?
That's something we've talked about here. Splash play, get your splash play t-shirts. We're working on some graphics to go in the game for every splash play. We'll reveal those in season 22 telecasts.
Eric Ebron with the catch over on the right side and a big 18-yard gain there on 2nd down. Stafford just carving up this defense. Hey, Sonny, sign me up for one of those splash play t-shirts. I think I'd look good in maybe like a 2 or 3XL. Don't send me any of those kids smalls.
I was expecting a medium, so I may have to redo our
it's unfortunate. 24-10
chart here, but we'll get you something. Obviously, got to keep you looking fresh.
First down for the Lions. It's going to be Abdullah right up the middle. Unable to get anything there. 2nd and 9 for the Lions, but they've had no trouble moving the ball so far here in the second quarter. Second half.
Yeah, and so far this is not the kind of drive the Steelers expected out of their defense coming out of half. Great drive, obviously, by Detroit.
The counter play there for Amir Abdullah. It goes nowhere. 3rd and 7 for the Lions coming
ball down
up.
At will. Good mix up of ball around the area. Good job so far by the Detroit Lions.
24-10 the score right now here in NBL Season 21 Super Bowl. The Lions looking to put more points on the board. It is 3rd and 7 with 3:33 to go here in the third quarter. We'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us today for the biggest game of the year here in the NBL. It is Matt Stafford. He's going to pass it. He's got Kendall Wright on the left side. He comes down with the catch and breaks around him for another Detroit Lions touchdown. Pending the extra point here, they're looking to go up 21 points on the 3-time defending Super Bowl champions Pittsburgh Steelers as the extra point is away. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. It's 31-10. I know a lot of people were predicting the Lions might come away with this one, but I don't think anyone was expecting this blowout so far. As the Lions are going to be kicking it off here, up 31-10 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are going to be looking to get any points out of this one. They've got to score something here to stay in this game. 3:23 to go here in the third quarter. A lot of things coming in from the chat. Spencer Murray saying, well, 38 for the Lions is possible. Juggernaut 08 saying Bomber is coming for blood. It's no doubt that the Lions were prepared for this one. The Steelers a little shell-shocked right now, not seeing a whole lot of this during the season. They were so good at 12-4. 31-10 as Ben Roethlisberger comes out empty backfield, 5 wide receivers. They're going to be airing it out here, and it is complete under the middle for a 5-yard gain. Roethlisberger 11-15, 113 yards, but 3 interceptions. He's been pretty accurate, but you complete 3 passes to the other team. You can't be happy for that one. 2nd and 5 for the Steelers coming out. He's got 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left. It's Wheaton alone there on the left side with Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. It's going to be Roethlisberger looking to pass again, and another pass right over the middle. The Steelers appear pretty tense and not pushing the ball downfield at all, Sonny. You think they got to do a little more of that down 21?
Yeah, they're going to have to move the ball downfield, working a lot of underneath routes. Look, 11 for 113, just not the kind of yards per catch they're going to need to get back in this game. They've got to push it downfield, and that starts with Martavius Bryant.
Handoff is play action pass on 3rd and 5 as Roethlisberger rolls out to his right. He's throwing it deep down the field, and as we say it, he does it. It is complete around the 40-yard line. A huge play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you got to think that's a little confidence for Ben Roethlisberger going forward.
Yeah, Antonio Brown working left to right across the field. Brown against their number 2 cornerback. I want Bryant on that side. I think that's the weakness, and that's what you need to attack.
Got to get on the phone to the Pittsburgh Steelers and Liv and tell them to switch up how they're doing it. Unfortunately, I don't think they're watching us right now, but we appreciate everybody who's hanging out with us here in the Season 21 Super Bowl. As it on first down, it is complete over the right side. It is to Martavius Bryant again. That was a tough catch to make. He took the hit immediately, but able to come down with it for a first down.
Yeah, and that's the kind of catches Bryant's going to make for you. He gets man coverage there, but once again, it's on Slay. Slay's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Not going to get a lot of separation there, but good play by Roethlisberger to thread it in there to Bryant.
Roethlisberger under center with 3 wide receivers and Le'Veon Bell on first down. He's going to be looking to throw once again, and he has once again a completion over the right side, coming over the middle, 1st and goal, down to the 5-yard line. A nice throw there by Roethlisberger. He had to fit that into a tight window. He was able to do it. 1st and goal Steelers.
Yeah, and they're starting to work down the field a little bit. They need to do more of this, obviously, but right now you're seeing signs of life. If they score here, they've got a chance. They'll only be down 2 scores. Plenty of time left on the ball, but the defense is going to have to show up. But first, touchdown here.
I formation is going to be a handoff to Le'Veon Bell, unable to get anything going, just stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage. Got a lot of stuff coming in from the chat. Eddie Mars, the owner of the Titans in the NBL, saying, with AB, Bryant, Bell, and Ben, I wouldn't count them out just yet. No doubt the Steelers team has a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. 2nd and goal as Roethlisberger looks like he ran into his own fullback, dropping back to pass on a little 3-step drop. Those are the mistakes that kill teams and kill momentum. 3rd and goal, big moment here for the Steelers.
Yeah, that play was somewhat comical. The fullback has to get out of the way. He's trying to find somebody to block in pass protection. Instead, blocks his own guy. Roethlisberger at least gets rid of it, keeping it from becoming another splash play.
3rd and goal for the Steelers, looking to put 7 on the board as Roethlisberger dropping back to pass once again, and he has his man, and it was incomplete. It looked like he was looking for the slant coming across the middle, but unable to come down with it. 4th and goal. If you're Pittsburgh, you got to be going here. It's got to be 4-down territory, right, Sonny?
I think we're getting there. You know, three puts points on the board, but I'm not sure it's enough to keep you in this race. So I would probably go for it here. Something probably, I'm thinking Antonio Brown, some sort of sit route underneath down in the goal line. You see a lot of zone coverage, so maybe some sort of sit route to Antonio Brown on this play.
4th and goal. It is indeed. The Steelers going for it with 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Roethlisberger looking to pass here. Big moment is intercepted. Another one of those Sonny Lennox splash plays. He was looking for it. Looked like Martavis Bryant in the back of the end zone, but Tahir Whitehead with the huge interception. They keep it a 31-10 game. That's got to be a killer for this Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl hopes.
Yeah, it was Antonio Brown coming across the back. It was a zone play, like I had said coming into it. I would have liked to seen him sit down between the zones. Instead, they try to cross around the back of the zone. Picked off, and in this game, like we talked about before, comes down to the splash plays. And Detroit Lions, 4 turnovers on the day, just making it happen. And at this point, there's not a whole lot Pittsburgh's going to be able to do to get back in this game.
1st and 10, it is a handoff to Abdullah, unable to get anything going up the middle. While we got a moment, we want to give a big shout out to our graphic sponsor. That's web3ks.com. They do all of our overlays here on NBL Live. They are the leader in affordable graphic design. If you need any graphic design, go to web3ks.com. As on 2nd and 10, it's a play action pass, and Catula's wide open on the left side. He's going to get it up to the 41-yard line, a 21-yard play. And Catula, he's about to be a household name with this performance here on NBL Live.
Yeah, Catula really making up for the loss of Whistler Ridgeway. Coming up big here in the Super Bowl. Only a rookie, really good rookie combo here between him and DeGrease. It's a nice combo for years to have. And when you get a healthy Whistler Ridgeway back, this is going to be a very tough passing offense to stop. Now remember, Matthew Stafford's still relatively young. He is up contract-wise, but the rumor has it they will tag him again if they can't come to a long-term deal.
Amir Abdullah with the handoff on 1st down. He's going to get 6 yards there. Abdullah, 10 rushes, 34 yards, averaging 3.4 a carry. It doesn't sound like a lot, but for Abdullah, who's had so much trouble moving the ball earlier in the season, he's got to be happy that he's getting a little momentum here.
Yeah, 3.4 yards, much better than the normal 2.5 he averaged all year. So he's actually getting positive production out of the running game, and that's something coming in this game we thought Detroit was going to need to come away with this victory.
On 2nd down, it is Stafford trying to throw it over the middle to DeGear, but it does not come down with it. He took a big hit there coming across the middle. 3rd and 4. Big moment for the Steelers defense here. They got to get a stop here if they have any hope of coming back in this game.
Yeah, they're going to need a stop, but they're going to need some big plays too. Something like an interception for a touchdown or something along those lines. If you're the Detroit Lions, you don't try to push it here. You take what's there. I would even consider running the ball, letting the clock run down into the 4th quarter, and just take your 21-point lead into the next quarter.
Well, the Lions must have been listening to you and said, no way, Sonny, we're going to be throwing this ball, and it is underneath to Eric Ebron for the completion and the 1st down. Nice 9-yard completion there to get that 1st down. We're in the 4th quarter. It is 31-10. Lions over the 3-time defending Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers. Surprising game nonetheless, as the Detroit Lions defense has really been the star of this game. We're going to want you to hang around to the end of the game, as we'll not only have our NBL Live player of the game. This is the Super Bowl MVP, essentially. But we're also going to have an interview with the winning owner. You're not going to want to miss it. Handoff to Abdullah. He's got a big hole on the left side. He's down to the 15. He makes a man miss into the end zone. And Amir Abdullah, the forgotten man in the backfield, with a 44-yard touchdown. The Lions just rolling it up on the Steelers at this point.
Yeah, at this point, not just a good game for Amir, maybe his best game of the season right now, and he's doing it at the biggest time, and that's when stars are born. They shine the brightest when the moment's the biggest, and right now, that's what's happening for this Lions rushing attack.
38-10, Lions drubbing the Steelers right now, as they look like they are well on their way to the NBL Season 21 Super Bowl championship, and they are just putting a hammer down on the Steelers team. The Lions kicking it off to the Steelers right now, as Ben Roethlisberger going to look to get something going. But you got to think down 28. This game with 5:50 to go is just about over.
Yeah, it's about over. You know, maybe a quick score here and an onside kick gets you back into it, but it's going to take something big, and it's going to have to happen right now on this play.
A lot of people in the chat commenting that this game is over. The chat, we'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us as always. Go ahead, give us a like, give us a subscribe down below, and follow us on Twitter at Bomber League. You can always hear what's going on and when our latest NBL live broadcasts are. It's going to be a pass over the left side, and it is complete. Boy, that's a tough throw for Roethlisberger to make, but he's able to make it on that corner route to Antonio Brown, his 3rd catch of the day. 1st down for the Steelers. Trying to get something going here late. This Steelers team is no doubt not going to quit.
Yeah, kind of surprised. It looked like his tight end was open down the seam. They've really been working the outside of the underneath, not much of the deep center of this game. And I think seeing a lot of cover two, either cover two man or cover two zone, would have liked to have seen more working the deep middle of this field throughout the game.
1st and 10, and another completion out to the right side for Ben Roethlisberger. Down to the 29-yard line. Steelers driving once again, but they've had a little trouble punching the ball in so far. They've been forced to settle for a field goal earlier. And then just a few moments ago, they threw that interception on 4th and goal, trying to hit the man in the back of the end zone. The Steelers team, though, not quitting, down 28-5, 23 to go here in the 4th quarter as Ben Roethlisberger breaks the huddle. He's got 3 wide to the right and Wheaton alone on the left with Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. 29-yard line for the Steelers. Roethlisberger looking to pass once again. He throws it over to the left side, and it is incomplete, almost intercepted. That would have been a tough catch to come down with. Roethlisberger just forcing it a little bit right now, down 28.
Yeah, and he had a one-on-one coverage on the right side. Obviously, you've got Slay over there, but he did have one-on-one coverage. He was underneath. Could have taken a shot there at this point in the game. I think that would have been a little safer bet than the route he threw. But either way, this is a tough task to come back for, especially when Detroit knows you're throwing basically every play now.
Screen pass for Le'Veon Bell. He does get it up for a 9-yard gain to bring up a 3rd and 1. And both of these offensive lines, though, have played relatively well. Not a lot of sacks in this game. We have seen those interceptions, but the offensive line have been creating holes for both running backs as well as keeping the quarterbacks clean. As on 3rd and 1, it's going to be 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. Bryant alone on that right side with Bell in the backfield. As Roethlisberger looks to pass, and it is complete over the middle for a touchdown. This Pittsburgh Steelers team, no quit. They do get a quick score with 4:52 to go here in the 4th quarter as the extra point is down. The kick is up, and it is good. 38-17. Lions still up 21, but a nice play there. Do the Steelers have a chance of coming back in this one? They did score pretty quickly on that drive.
It would take a big splash play coming up here, maybe an onside kick to try to get that, because they've got a lot of scoring they got to do in a short amount of time. Now, momentum can shift, and it has seen it happen before, especially with these Detroit Lions. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm thinking Pittsburgh may have to sell out here, try to get some pressure, some splash plays, maybe an all-out blitz here on 1st down.
38-17, Lions on top, and they're going to toss to Amir Abdullah over the right side. He's got a lot of room over there. It's going to be a 12-yard gain on 1st down, and Amir Abdullah, a guy who was one of the worst in the league with his rushing average, he's having a great game so far, showing that maybe a team will take a flyer on him in the offseason.
Yeah, I wonder if the Lions are rethinking the idea of cutting him. Obviously, of Jeremy Hill coming back, but Jeremy Hill, who just missed this whole year because of a shoulder injury, you may want to keep him as a little bit of a fallback option.
Abdullah with a handoff on 1st down, met immediately in the backfield, unable to get anything going there. A 4-yard loss, but no doubt this is probably the easiest time to play defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They know that they're probably going to be running the ball the whole time.
Yeah, just fill in the box, try to make somebody get a big hit there, maybe force a fumble. But right now, you just have to play the run every game or every play.
It's going to be a handoff to Abdullah on 2nd down. He's going to get a couple of yards there. We'll call it a long 4. Going to bring up a 3rd and 10. This Lions team just hoping to milk the clock, get it down underneath 4 minutes, and take this Super Bowl championship from the Pittsburgh Steelers. No doubt a great game played so far by the Lions.
Yeah, and a great game by Amir. 89 yards on 14 carries. That's a big play, or a big game for Amir so far.
3rd and 10. It's going to be Stafford passing the ball. Once again, it is tipped and incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th down. The Lions opting to pass it there on 3rd down, but the Steelers defense was ready for that one. They're going to get the ball back with about 3:40 to go here in the 4th quarter. They're down 3 scores. You got to think if the Steelers were to have any chance here, they've got to score before the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, they're going to need a quick score here, and actually if they can score here in about the next 45 seconds, I'd give them a pretty good shot as long as they keep all their timeouts here. But it's going to take a quick score here. Any play they're saving in their playbook, any of the big shot plays they've got, now would be the time to call it.
3:43 to go as Roethlisberger's going to come out. He's got 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right, and Le'Veon Bell in the backfield with him. Down 3 scores, and just as we talked about the offensive line playing so well, Lawson comes around the right side and is able to take down Ben Roethlisberger for a sack. 10-yard loss on that one, and if you're Ben, that's a play you just can't take.
That's a splash play, folks.
Drink. Everyone is playing the drink game. Drink. Another splash play, as said by the creator of the splash play. It's Sonny Weaver and his Sonny Lytics coming out hard here at the NBL Super Bowl for season 21. It's going to be on second down, a pass, shake and bake move over there on the right side, able to get up to the first down. So 2nd and 20, proving no obstacle as Wheaton is able to shake and bake his way up. 5 catches on the day for Wheaton. He's having a nice day for the Steelers.
Yeah, but we got to pick it up. This needs to be a hurry-up offense. Going back to the huddle each time is not going to get them back in this game.
3 deep set for the Lions defense as on first down. It's going to be a pass once again as expected. It's to Wheaton again, his 6th catch of the day, but only it looks like a 3-yard gain there. No hurry though from the Steelers offense. I'm surprised they're not running that hurry up offense as you mentioned.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like a defeated Steelers team out here. They're in no big hurry to try to score.
2nd and 7 for Roethlisberger, driving back to pass. Once again, it is complete over the right side, cutting across the middle. Looked like that was Martavis Bryant with the catch. And it's going to be a first down for the Steelers offense as they're just trying to get something going. 2:31 to go. And be sure to stick with us after the game. We will have the NBL Live Player of the Game announcement. We want to hear your suggestions in the chat, so go ahead and tell us who you think should be the player of the game. And we'll also have an interview with the winning owner after the game. You're not going to want to miss that here at Season 21 Super Bowl on NBL Live. 1st and 10, Roethlisberger throwing it deep to the end zone, and Darius Slay with the play over there. 1-on-1 with Bryant, makes the nice play. Ball falls to the ground. 2nd and 10 for the Steelers.
Yeah, and a little too late there on the deep shot. They get it downfield. Not Martavis Bryant. That's what I really wanted to see that go to, but definitely a time to be taking shots downfield.
2nd and 10 for the Steelers as Roethlisberger drops back to pass once again. He's going to throw it deep over the middle, and it is incomplete, unable to come up with that one. Killebrew with the big hit. 3rd and 10, Steelers, 2:13 left. Time is running out on their Super Bowl hopes.
Miles Killebrew had a really good game so far. He has one of the pick sixes in this game, and that's somebody I'd be watching for NBL Player of the Game.
All right, Sonny, we got 3rd and 10 here for the Steelers offense as they come out. 2:13 to go. It's going to be Roethlisberger under center. He's got 2 wide to the left. Showing a 3-deep look for the Lions defense. Going to be dropping back to pass once again. And it is complete over the right side down. But a flag on the play. And boy, is that a killer. They had a little momentum, but a holding on the left tackle away from the play. It's going to be 3rd and 20 now. And that's just a killer for everything the Steelers were hoping to put together.
Yeah, and if you're the Steelers right now, the writing's pretty much on the wall. It's kind of a sad way to see Ben Roethlisberger go out, but nonetheless a great career here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 titles, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and just a great career here in Pittsburgh.
Throwing up there on 3rd down, unable to come up with it. It's going to bring up a 4th and 20. A tough play, no doubt, to convert. Although they did convert one earlier in this drive, but the Steelers' Super Bowl hopes certainly are fading. Down 21 as we hit close to the 2-minute warning. 38-17, Lions on top. 3 wide to left, 1 to the right for Ben Roethlisberger in the shotgun with Le'Veon Bell. As Roethlisberger been looking to pass the ball once again, he throws it deep over the right side, and it is complete. He converts the 4th and 20 down to the 23-yard line. What a nice throw there by Ben Roethlisberger, showing he's still got it.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger trying to hang in there and make something happen. No fighting this guy, the ultimate competitor, even though he's down 21, still trying to score out here in the Super Bowl.
38-17, we're hit the 2-minute warning as it's going to be a pass over to the left side, unable to complete that one to Bryant. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Sonny, let me ask you here, as looks like the Lions are going to win this game. Steelers not quitting, though. Where do the Steelers go from here next year with no Ben Roethlisberger? It's going to be tough to lose their leader like that, but not only a great leader, but one of the most prolific passers here in the NBL. What's the outlook looking for the Steelers next year?
It's going to be tough. Obviously, they've won that division every year for the last few seasons, as Ben throws another interception there.
To Mitchell's 2nd one of the day.
But, you know, it's tough. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers really didn't plan for life after Ben, very reminiscent of the Indianapolis Colts for life after Peyton Manning. So you're going to get Ben Roethlisberger with no real heir apparent. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the offseason. Do we go to the draft? Do we go to free agency? Is Jacoby Brissett the future in Pittsburgh at quarterback?
It's going to be weird not seeing Ben Roethlisberger at the helm of those Steelers as the Detroit Lions are in victory formation. The Season 21 Super Bowl championship is theirs in just 1 minute and 35 seconds. We'd like to thank everyone for hanging out with us here on NBL Live. Stick with us. We'll have our NBL Live Player of the Game as well as an interview with the winning owner, as that is Bomber. It's going to be a tough loss here for the Steelers as the Lions are going to take this one, but you can't discount what the Steelers have been able to do over the last 3 years.
No, not at all. And it was a great season in Pittsburgh, 14-2 division title once again in a Super Bowl run. Obviously, they ran into a good opponent in Detroit themselves. Can't take anything away from this Pittsburgh team. Not the way Ben Roethlisberger would like to ride off into the sunset, but nonetheless, a great season for Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Steelers just falling short in this one, but they do have those back-to-back Super Bowl rings. It's got to feel good for Matt Stafford to bring a championship to Detroit. They've been fighting for so long. They're running into those Dallas Cowboys, but finally the NFC is going to take back the Super Bowl championship. What a win for Detroit in the city.
Great win, a great comeback against the Dallas Cowboys, and really a great showing of defensive prowess when we thought it was going to be an offensive-dominated game.
A delay of game called as it's just going to hold up the celebration a little bit for these Lions on the 3-yard line as they're going to line up in victory formation one more time, and they're going to put the knee on the ground. The clock is going to run out as they are going to be your season 21 NBL Super Bowl champions. The Detroit Lions with a dominating 38-17 win over the 3-time defending champion Pittsburgh Steelers. All right. Sonny, we got to do it. We got to pick our NBL Live player of the game here for Super Bowl and Season 21 of the NBL. I wish I could give it to the whole Detroit Lions defense, but I think I'd have to give it to Killebrew. He made a couple big hits over the middle, but that pick six was huge for this defense, and he really just was a force in the middle for this team.
Yeah, Miles Killebrew, just one of the young, hard-hitting safeties in the NBL. Like you said, pick six, some big hits, and I agree with that. Miles Killebrew, NBL Live player of the game.
And just like that, it is over, and it is your champions for Season 21 are the Detroit Lions with a 38-17 win over the 3-time defending champion Pittsburgh Steelers. As we are going here to the NBL Live post-game show, we will have an interview with the winning owner, and that is Bomber. But first, we have graced by the presence of Lip, the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He agreed to join us and do an interview here, and we certainly thank you for joining us, Lip. Tough game for the Steelers. We know that you were hoping to get another win for Ben. Give us just, we know the game just ended, but just a little taste of your feelings right now as this game is over.
Oh, hey, sorry. We had a hell of a run. 2 great seasons back-to-back. Played well enough to get here this year. It's disappointing to lose, but, you lose to a good opponent. Things don't go your way, but it is what it is. That's football. Congrats to the Detroit Lions and Bomber. It was a great season, and I'm just happy that we were able to get here.
Tough game, no doubt, but no doubt an accomplishment getting to the Super Bowl once again for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me ask you this. We know that you're going to talk about Ben Roethlisberger and how great he has been for the team at quarterback as a leader of this team. If this is indeed his last game, how do you want Ben Roethlisberger to be remembered in Pittsburgh?
Hey, you can't be upset about one game. I mean, we played bad from top to bottom. We got outplayed, and just we're not prepared for what we come up against. So even though this might be Ben's last game, we look at the past 3 Super Bowls and all the great seasons that he's had. And like I talked about previously, just the leadership skills. And even if he does go out, he's still going to be a leader for our guys moving forward. And I can't say enough about how good of a quarterback and a leader and just face of the franchise that Ben Roethlisberger has been. I'll be very sad to see him go, but in a few years, I'm sure he'll be back involved in the process somehow.
Well, Lip, thank you so much for joining us. We know it was a tough game for you and your team, but we certainly appreciate you giving us some time here on NBL Live post-game show, and we wish you the best of luck with the offseason and the draft coming up.
Hey, thanks, guys. Once again, congratulations, Detroit Lions, Bomber. Hell of a season, hell of a game.
And speaking of the Detroit Lions, your NBL Season 21 Super Bowl champions, we are going to have an interview as Bomber has entered the room, the owner of the Detroit Lions, the Super Bowl champions here in Season 21. Bomber, tell us, how do you feel about this win?
Hey, look, can y'all hear me, man?
Yeah, we got you.
Well, I just want to give a shout out to all the people at the bottom. That's right, Delvar, Unisolated, Cuba, Fry, Pricey, my boy Pricey over there. Everybody at the bottom, I did it for you. Big shout out to my wife for putting up with me this whole time. This is our 4th Super Bowl. Get off me. I know, we won. Everybody's all over us. I got my dogs going crazy right now. Shout out to October, always been my guy. Wouldn't have got here without DK prepping me for the last couple years, man. It's just amazing feeling right now. Detroit, we did it for you, baby.
Crazy scene, I'm sure, for the Detroit Lions, your season 21 NBL Super Bowl champions. Bomber, I know you're excited to get to party, but let's talk about your defense for just a moment. They came up with a couple big scores. Sonny was talking about those splash plays the whole time, and your defense really came up with a big load of those. We know your team is led by Matt Stafford, but talk a little bit about what your defense did today.
Let me tell you about this defense, man. I spoke with Caldwell about week 3. We're having a couple problems on the defensive side of the ball. Everybody was saying we're too old. Vontae Davis is too old. They were saying Greg Hardy's past his prime. We should let him go. But guess what? Coach Caldwell looked me dead in the eye, man. Put that cigarette down. Burned it. Looked at me. You know what he said? He said, they got that ticker, though. I said, what's the ticker? That heart. You hear that? Ba-boom. Ba-boom. They got that ticker, baby. And that's exactly what they showed today, man. They play as one. They're a unit. We got Kilbrew at safety, Beekman at safety. We got Von Slay. That's right, Vontae Davis, Darius Slay doing their thing. And don't forget that Super Bowl MVP, season 21, Mitchell. What a game out of slot corner, man. Made some crazy plays.
Bomber. Amir Abdallah, 2.5 yards carry all season long. The game starts getting away from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you use Abdallah to kind of ice that game. How big of an impact was he having on your offense in this game?
Well, as most of you know, we've had contract negotiations with Abdullah all game. It looks like he's not gonna, we'll deal with that when it happens. But what Abdullah did today will never be forgotten. Detroit loves this guy, man. He's been a stand-up professional this whole time. And whatever situation happens at the end of this season, we wish him the best. But man, he sure did ball out today, Sonny. You hit the nail on the head.
14 carries for 89 yards for Abdullah in this game.
Best game of the year. Best game of the season.
And what a time for him to come up with it here in the season 21 Super Bowl. Bomber, congratulations on your Super Bowl championship. Finally clearing that hurdle, getting that Super Bowl this year in season 21. Go have some fun with your guys, and we'll see you next season.
All right, thanks for having me. I'll take care.
All right, and what a season, Sonny. It's season 21 here in the NBL. It ends with the Lions Super Bowl championship. They were one of the favorites going into this one. But, Sonny, just a couple thoughts as to this season 21 as we head into season 22 of the Madden Bomber League.
You know, coming out into the playoffs, we started taking a deep dive into the analytics and going into the playoffs, the clear-cut favorite were the Detroit Lions, and they come out on top. The Steelers were up there as well. I think we learned a couple things as we looked at this playoff field and the rest of the field. Couple things you can't do in NBL. You can't turn the ball over, and you've got to score touchdowns. That touchdown interception ratio is huge going forward. Splash plays are big. People are going to get tired of me saying it, but if you can create the splash plays on defense, it doesn't matter how many yards you give up, you're always going to be in games. See the Pittsburgh Steelers. So as we move forward into next year, it'll be interesting to see who is drafted, who are the big free agents. Is it guys rushing the passer? Is it guys picking off the passer? And is it the passers themselves? A lot of big things coming up in these free agencies and drafts. A lot of things that people have to do to try to rebuild their teams. And these guys right here, Pittsburgh Steelers especially, are going to have to figure out where to go from here.
What a game indeed to end our season 21, and that's going to do it for us here. We want to remind everyone out there to tune in to MBL Network on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. We're going to have our season 22 draft. It is one of the biggest shows of the year. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to hear from a lot of different personalities here. You're not going to want to miss it. That's this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the MBL Network. And boy, for everybody here at the MBL Network, behind the scenes, we've had Gibbs. We got Sonny Weaver on the call today. And for everybody who's called a game or produced a game with us this season, we'd like to thank all of you for hanging out with us on this, the biggest game of the year, the season 21 Super Bowl. Once again, your Detroit Lions are your season 21 Super Bowl champions. For Gibbs, Weaver, I am OSU. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And we'll see you in season 22 of the Madden Bomber League.